So in today's video, I'm going to show you what I believe to be better for a small home studio, a continuous light, or a flash. So hi everyone, this is Jiggy, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So I'm going to show you a couple of photos. One of these photos was shot with a continuous light and the other one with a flash. So towards the end of the video, I will disclose which one was shot with flash and which one was shot with continuous light. And I will also show you a few more examples of images that were shot with continuous light and those that were shot with flash photography. Okay, so one thing that we have to remember first is that light is light. So this video is meant to help in the decision-making process of what light would actually be better for you. So let's start off with this one, price. I actually have some notes here just so that I don't make mistakes, right? Because this is something that a lot of people consider, which one is more expensive. So this Phottix Juno with the Odin light trigger can be bought as a set for $249.95, so basically about $250. And this Phottix Cerberus Bowens mount is about $60, okay? So that gives us about $310 for this entire set, without the light stand, of course. Then you have this one. This is a Nanlite Forza 60B. This is a bicolor light from Nanlite, and it comes as a package including this one, which is their version of the Bowens mount, and the handle for NPF batteries. So this one, altogether as a set without the batteries, is $319, and the NPF batteries are $40, so which gives us a total of about $360. So this one, the flash system, is $310. This one is about $360. So of course, you could find different brands of speed lights and continuous lights, but these are the lights that I had in the studio, and these are the lights that I use. Then more or less, I think the prices would be the same. So price shouldn't really be a factor when it comes to the decision on whether or not you want to go continuous light or flash when it comes to your small home studio. So what are the things that you really have to weigh in order for you to be able to decide which light is best for you? Well, number one would be power. When I say power, how strong is this compared to this one? Well, the speed light is a lot stronger than the continuous light. Now, these speed lights you can actually use them outdoor also to tame the sun. Unlike these continuous lights, you can only use them indoor or at night because they are not capable of really overpowering the sun. So that is one issue that you may have to deal with, but at the same time, you have this one that can be powered via an AC outlet. So when you're in the studio, you don't have to worry about batteries. But then, of course, batteries are very affordable. So you could just, if this one runs out of power, you could just slap on a new AA battery and you're good to go. Also, with regards to power, when using speed lights, you also have to wait for what we call recycle time. In other words, when you're shooting, it needs a bit of time for it to be able to be ready for the next shot, as compared to continuous lights where you could just continuously shoot because they don't need any recycle time. With power, I think I have to go to speed lights if you are that type of person that really needs a lot of power. But then next, you have to consider which one would be easier to use. Now with speed lights, you actually have to have a bit more technical knowledge in order for you to be able to use lights like this. That's why this channel, if you guys haven't subscribed, is really dedicated to off-camera flash photography and teaching photographers how to use speed lights, how to properly expose using speed lights, or basically how to use off-camera work in terms of studio and outdoor photography. Now, you've got continuous lights like this one. Continuous lights are very, very simple to use. All you have to do is turn them on, point them in the direction you want your light facing, and just adjust the power manually here. It's basically like shooting outdoor with ambient light. And one last thing, with speed light, you don't normally see how the light will affect your subject until you've taken that test shot or that shot. That's the only time you will be able to see what the light is doing, as compared to continuous lights wherein what you see is what you get. So in terms of ease of use, I will actually have to give that to continuous light. Okay? Next, practicality. Which one of these things is more practical? Now, one of the reasons why I chose to compare the Nanlite Forza 60B compared to the speed light is number one, size. look at it. Basically, it is both very, very easy for you to take around, therefore making it very practical for you to use anywhere. In other words, if you want to use it in the studio, you want to use it outdoor, you can use this. But again, there are disadvantages. This one's stronger, so you could use it during midday sun. This one won't really have enough power for you to be able to overpower the sun, but it will work wonders at night. So if this one is perfect for midday sun, this one is perfect for nighttime shooting. In other words, when you want to be able to bring in a lot of the ambient light at night, especially with those new cameras. Like I personally use a Sony camera and I love the high ISO capabilities of these cameras. So having to bring in a lot of the ambient light in the scene that I am shooting, it makes more sense actually for me to use my continuous light rather than my flash at nighttime shooting because I don't need the power. Therefore, being able to see what this light is doing is a bonus. In other words, I don't have to waste too much time in terms of having to pop a flash and figuring out and adjusting so many things. This one, you just point the flash, make it weaker, stronger, and you're good to go. So, but both are relatively very, very easy to use. Though there is one advantage of this one that makes it a lot easier to use, especially in situations that I just described, is that this is bicolor. In other words, you can change the color temperature to match that of your existing ambient light, given that it is within that range of white to orange or white to warm. When you're doing practical photography, basically when you're shooting at night and you've got those tungsten lights, with this one, you would have to have another attachment like a gel filter in order to match the color of this one to that of your existing ambient light. Unlike this one, all you have to do is press a button and you can change the color temperature the way you want to do it. And in practical applications, let's say, for example, in the studio, if I want to mimic, let's say, the light coming from a light bulb and I want the light bulb in the shot, then I can change the color of this one instantly to match that of the color of the light bulb. Unlike this one, I would still have to put gel filters, and if I don't have gel filters with me, then that becomes a problem. So ease of use, maybe I will actually give it to continuous light more than flash, but there is one thing that you guys might want to know, though don't quote me on this, I will just say it, but I don't know if I can actually defend it. But this is from my personal experience. I think flash makes your images sharper as compared to continuous light. I don't know why. So now, which light would I actually recommend for a small home studio? Well, to be honest, the answer is really up to you guys. Now, if you are more comfortable with using continuous light, there's no problem with that, so long as you know the limitations, such as what I said earlier. The power might be an issue, though this light is easier to use, but sometimes the images turn out a bit softer as compared to now speed lights. Speed lights are stronger, they have more uses in terms of outdoor photography, so they might actually last you longer than continuous lights. But for me, I actually use both. I love mixing ambient light and flash. I love mixing continuous light and flash. When I am shooting weddings, I use my flash for certain situations. I use my continuous light for certain situations. So, as I said in the very beginning, light is light. It doesn't really matter whether or not you're using continuous light or flash. The most important thing is for you to be able to understand how to manipulate them, how to control light, and best of all, how to create your images using the lights that you have. So as I said in my intro, I will reveal which image I shot with continuous light and which one I shot with flash. The first image was shot with a continuous light. The second image was shot with flash. So here are a few more images for you guys to look at and try to figure out which one was shot with continuous light and which one was shot with flash. I will leave the answers in the description below together with links on how these images were shot. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see some of my images, you could always find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggy Alejandrino. Okay, till the next video.